Hi there, it's Chris van die Kerk here at Bluerhino Safaris. Let me take you through our gorillas tour for 2018. You'll notice on the website it's a new tour that I've added. Um, it's just short of a month. Needs to be quite long, otherwise we're not going to make it through to Uganda. And I don't want to race through, I want to spend enough time everywhere. So 11 December is our departure time that we're expecting. We meet up in Kasane and then we pull off from there. 28, 29 days, just leave that extra day open for yourself. The cost, 23,000 Rand per person sharing at 12.5 exchange rate to the US dollar. That excludes your gorillas and park entry fees. So what that includes is the whole tour, traveling with me. But if you want to go into certain parks and do the gorillas and the chimpanzees and those type of things, then it would be a day trip and you would pay as a day visitor and you'll just pay for yourself. So if you don't want to spend that money, if you don't want to see the gorillas but just see Uganda, then that's going to be your base price. Gorillas obviously very expensive. I say obviously, people generally know that. Rwanda, Uganda, and the DRC have different prices for gorilla tours, and we'll see which one exactly we'll use at the time. It all depends um, on how many people I have and how big the group is and where we will go. But we will obviously look for the best option available and not the most expensive and ridiculous one. Why am I doing it in December? People have leave available so they can do the tour. Plus, December is a very good time to do gorillas. It is one of the two seasons that they have for gorilla touring. So let's look at the map and I'll show you basically what it entails. So we have, it's a big map. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and then we'll just go through it in a little bit more detail. Uh, Let me get to the front here. So our tour basically starts in Kasane in Botswana. That's where we will meet up to start the tour. And yeah, good starting spot. Go through to Vic Falls. If you want to head up ahead of me and you want to visit Vic Falls and spend 2 nights there just to relax a little bit, you're welcome to. Otherwise, Kasane, you can also relax a bit for a few days. Not a problem at all. Second night, we travel north towards Lusaka. We go through Lusaka, do a little bit of shopping, fill up with fuel, carry on the Tanzam Highway, sleep another night there, and then we get to the hot springs. We spend a night there just to relax the bodies a little bit. Um, and then we head up to our first double stop, and that will be at the south of Lake Tanganyika. 2 nights there, relax, feet up, do nothing, just chill a little bit, pack the car, get everything sorted out, cross into Tanzania and up with Lake Tanganyika. We sleep one night next to the lake at a lovely lodge there, up to Kigoma, where we sleep another night, and then we make our preparations to cross into Rwanda. So 2 nights in Rwanda going up. Again, a day to visit the war museums in Kigali, just to take in a little bit of Rwanda. It's the cleanest country in Africa. It's an incredible country to visit. So 2 nights there on the way up, and then we cross into Uganda. So 3 nights at the bottom of Uganda, and that's where we will do our gorilla trek. If you don't find them on day one, you could have a second day that you can try again, or just relax, or just see the area. So that is the plan: is 3 nights at the southern end of Uganda. Then we go up to Queen Elizabeth or Queen Elizabeth National Park, Lake Albert. It's in the Lake Edward area. 2 nights in Queen Elizabeth just to see what that is all about. They also have chimpanzee trekking, so if you want to do the chimps, then that would be a good place to do the chimps. And then all the way up to Murchison Falls. As I say, Lake Albert is at the top here. The Nile, the White Nile, runs through here. So this is really across the equator already. This is in territory that you probably have never seen in your life. So really unique territory, Northern Hemisphere, um, the White Nile. Then we start our southern journey, and that is towards Lake Victoria, and we head to a town called Jinja. Very nice area, bird life, exceptional tourist destination. From Jinja, 2 nights there as well. From Jinja, we go back towards the south of Uganda, sleep 1 night in Uganda, and then cross into Rwanda. Sleep 1 night in Rwanda, and then cross into Tanzania. And then we head back down with the road that I typically would use for the Serengeti tour, um, all the way through, off the map a little bit, back on the map. And once we get to the top of Lake Malawi, which is down here, we turn off at Mbeya and into Malawi. So 1 night at the top of Lake Malawi, then another rest stop, 2 nights at the central part of the lake, which is a really nice area. I normally stop 2 nights there. If you've done Tanzania with me, then you'll know where I stop for those 2 nights. We continue down through Tet. Fuel is a lot cheaper in Mozambique, so we try to use places that have cheaper fuel. And from Tet, crossing into Harare and down towards Messina, where we will finish the tour. If Zimbabwe is a bit of an issue, then we can always just stick with the Mozambican side and go around to Komatipoort. That's one of the options, or alternatively, if both of them are a problem, we will go through Zambia and back into Botswana. I've done all of those routes, so it's rather easy to chop and change depending on what the need is. So either through Zambia back, through Mozambique and back, or through Zimbabwe. This is the shortest route. It is the quickest route. And I don't expect problems in Zimbabwe. I visit Zimbabwe regularly, and I never have any issues. So that's it. I call it the Central African tour. Focus is on gorillas. Focus is on Uganda and Rwanda, and a lot of history. It's really it's an area close to us which we do not know anything about. We hardly visit there. It's not on the radar. Everybody wants to do the wildebeest migration in Serengeti, which is great. I do it every year, but this is different. This is something unique. We don't realize that the gorillas are actually within our reach as South Africans. Flying in to see the gorillas is an option, but again, if you don't see them and you come back home and you've achieved absolutely nothing, then you might think you've wasted your money. Whereas if you drive the area, you see the volcanic area, you see different cultural areas, Central Africa, Lake Tanganyika. So there's lots to see in any case, even if you don't want to do the gorillas. Gorillas in the DRC, generally about $400 per person per day to see the gorillas. In Uganda, about $700 per person per day to see them, and in Rwanda, $1,500 per person per day. So I'm not going to do the Rwanda one. We're aiming for Uganda, and if the opportunity opens up in the DRC, and I know that they do run gorilla operations through the DRC, then it will be a question of driving to the border, doing the gorillas, and coming back out of the DRC. Just a day trip into the DRC. You're not driving. The Parks Board officials picks you up from the border, take you in, do the gorillas, and bring you back again. So there's three options. At this point, I'm heading for the Uganda one, but we can always change that. So join me, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be December 11th until about the 10th of January, thereabout. So join me. It will be great. Cheers.